What's up, YouTube? Prof Sales coming at you on a Friday night with an impromptu show. So I thought I'd do a little quick show and see what everybody's up to tonight. We'll talk, have some good conversation, and talk about the new year, which is right around the corner. So we'll let the chat fill up a little bit, see who all gets on. But hope you guys are doing well. So let's make sure we have our connection working right. Oh, looks like it's working all right. Some people are filling into the chat. And so tonight it'll be just kind of a different kind of night. I did not plan to do a show, but the mood just hit me. And I said, you know what? It might be showtime. So Karen is here, and maybe if we're lucky, she will make an appearance on camera. You don't have to. She's shooting me a look like, really? But no, she loves getting on. But we were just chilling at home here. We had some dinner. We were watching a little Shark Tank. And I don't know. I just decided to do a show. So, hey, what's up? Let's do a show. Let's have a show. I'll tell you guys about what's going on, and maybe we'll share some results and so on. Haven't done that in a couple days. I'll pull up we'll talk about the spreadsheet and, just have a good time on a Friday night. So we'll keep it free form, nothing too crazy in terms of, what we're doing and so on. And hopefully you guys will have some good questions, some good comments. And so people are filling in. Felipe is here. Felipe always says I'm the jeans guy. I don't know why you'd say that, Felipe. I don't even know why you'd think that. Vintage Maid in the room. J Dub. M Cole. Michelle. Another Michelle. So anyway, howdy from Tulsa, the Comfortable Life. What's up, Comfortable Life? So I thought I'd share with you guys some things that have been on my mind. I've been thinking about the last couple of days as we come down the home stretch of 2016. And if you guys have questions and so on about really what we're talking about, but really anything, just leave it in the chat box. You can just type, the word question or 2 or 3 question marks, just something to get the attention. I'll try to answer it. Car on the road says hello, and it's freezing here in SO. I don't know where SO is. Ontario, maybe? I don't know. It's kind of chilly here, guys. It is not warm, but we're struggling through it. It's winter, right? It's supposed to be cold. This is my least favorite time of the year. Once we get out of the holidays and get to January and February, man, it just gets cold, and that's just, I don't know. It's just no bueno, right? You just don't even feel like going outside and sourcing. You're like, you got to bundle up, and everywhere you go is just cold. The wind's been blowing here today, which is unusual for us, but anyway. But we are excited for this new year, guys, but I wanted to share a couple things that I've been thinking about in terms of that. I was listening to a little Gary V today, one of my favorites, Gary Vaynerchuk. For those of you who don't know, he has a really huge channel as well as a lot of followers on Snapchat, Instagram, so on. And Gary V was talking, somebody was asking him about his New Year's resolutions, what he thought about New Year's resolutions. And he said something I thought that was pretty sharp and pretty on point. He said, if you make a New Year's resolution, then you should be resolving to do something on January 1st. But if you make a resolution on December 23rd, you should be doing something on December 23rd about it. Because the point is if you're going to change something about your life, your business, whatever, do it. There's no magical day to start. There's nothing magical about the calendar flipping over to January 1st. And he's right. He's dead on. That doesn't really, why wait? What are you really waiting on? There's nothing to wait for. It's kind of arbitrary, like, oh, I'm going to start the new year and everything's going to be different. Really? Why can't it be different right now, this moment? So I think it was a good point. Just there's no reason to put off. If it's a good idea, guys, and there's nothing stopping you from doing it right now, do it now. There's nothing magical about 2 days from now. I mean, that's just procrastination for no reason other than procrastinate, really. If not January 1st, well, why not wait till February 1st or March 1st? Then you'll really be ready, right? No, you won't be. You'll be just as ready 2 days from now or today as you will be a week from now or a month from now. Just do it. Just move forward, make the change, adapt, start a new plan, a new program, go in a different direction. Whatever it is, January 1st, there's nothing magical about it. Today is the day. You don't know if you'll even have tomorrow. Who knows? But I thought it was a good message he gave. Just when you resolve to change your life, guys, and you resolve to make things better and make improvements in your life, your relationships, your business, whatever it is, do it now. Don't wait. There is no waiting. So anyway, a couple other people in the room showed up. D Moats, what's up? Thrift School showed up. Comfortable Life. I've already said hi to you, but I'll say hi again. So yeah, Gary Vee, always a good one, guys, for words of wisdom, and he has a way, that's for sure. The other thing I was listening to today was a podcast I've talked about before. Steven Peterson, some of you may know, he does a podcast called E-commerce Momentum. And he talks to a lot of different people. A lot of them are resellers and entrepreneurs. He's a reseller. And he had an interview on there today. I guess it just got posted a couple days ago. And it was an interview he did with Steve Rakin. And this interview was talking to Steve about all kinds of things. And Steve talked about, he's gone in a lot of different directions over the last 3 years with his business. He's gotten involved in a lot of different ventures, whether it be Amazon or eBay or eBooks. He's now running a Spotify store. He's done vending. He's done a lot of different things. And one of the points he and Steven Peterson were talking about was, is that you just because you stopped doing something doesn't mean you failed at it. And in Steve's case, he's gone in different directions multiple times. He's pivoted. And he's pivoted for reasons because he's got involved in things and he's decided that those weren't really the best course of action for him. Doesn't mean it's not good for you. Doesn't mean someone else can't take it and run with it and do really, really well at it. Doesn't mean that at all. And it doesn't mean that he's a failure because he decided to stop. It just means that it wasn't right. It wasn't the right fit. And I wonder how many of us out there, we feel like there's only one way to do this reselling game or to be in business for yourself, or there's only one way to run your accounting practice or your plumbing business, or if you put up drywall, or you're a landscaper. And there's a lot more ways. There are, and you can't do everything all at once with maximum capacity, because you only have so much capacity as a human being. You only have so much you can wrap your head around. And part of life, especially being in business for yourself, I think is just that experimentation. You've got to explore other avenues. You've got to explore what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. You've got to be able to give things a try and see how, and just, put them, it's like putting on a pair of jeans. You don't really know how they're going to fit until you put them on and you wear them. And then you might decide they're not for you. Maybe they fit perfectly, but you just don't like them. So I thought it was a good lesson Steve talked about. And by the way, Steve Rakin, just so you know, will be on Revenue Wrap coming up very shortly. I do have a date and he has committed to it. So, and you're hearing it here first. Haha. Yeah, Steve's going to be on the show. I believe he's doing an afternoon show on the 10th. I think that's right, Karin. So Steve is going to be on the show here on the Prof Sales channel on January 10th. And I'm excited about that because, man, Rakin is a force of nature, and he just doesn't stop. And he goes after so many different things, so many different ways. And he's always, got this positive attitude about him. And I'm excited about him coming on the show. We're gonna have a good conversation. You guys get to come on, ask questions. I mean, he runs probably the largest reselling YouTube channel. He's an admin of the Green Room. You know, he's been selling on Amazon and eBay for many years now. I mean, he just has a lot of knowledge in a lot of different business areas. I mean, we'll probably only get him for an hour, but he could probably be on the show for 3 hours, honestly, with all the questions, you know, and topics that we could cover. But I'm excited about him coming on the show. Speaking of other shows, we have 2 other shows that are coming up soon. The consignment store / eBay business owners, they are going to be on the show very shortly. I think they're set for, do you remember that date, Karin? I don't remember.
No, you just set that one.
Yeah, I think I set it for, let me check my phone. Tiffany and James, they will be on. And guys, they have a 4,200 listing eBay store. So just to tell you, you know, it can be done, which I'm pretty jealous of. I'm like, man, 4,200, God, that'd be great to get up to that. But they will be on, I believe, on, man, I just had the date. They're on the 16th of January. They're coming on the 16th of January, so just a couple weeks. And Karin and I are actually, we're supposed to go sourcing with them tomorrow. So that should be fun. We'll see how that goes. And I'm excited about that. So to kind of get to see them in action. If they don't mind me shooting some video, I will. But we'll be in a store, and you know how it is with these stores. Sometimes you get hit these copyright violations. I may have just blank out the audio on that part. But they're coming on the show. So we're going to have them on. And guys, they have a big operation. And if you haven't seen that video, it's on their goal to get to 10,000 listings. They're at 4,200, so they're on their way. And really excited about that. Krillin says, where to keep all that inventory? Yeah, that's Krillin. You know, they have a 3,000 square foot space. But honestly, I don't even know. Maybe half of it is taken up by inventory, but I don't think so. I don't even think half of it's taken up. I mean, a lot of it's hanging. So, you know, you can double hang racks, and that's what they do. But they've got it down to a system, and they're just building their business and building their inventory. And I think they can run that business maybe with 3 people, which is crazy to think about running a 10,000 listing eBay store with 3 people. I mean, I don't even know how to do that. Karin, how do we even Karin's just smiling. I'm like, that just like baffles me to think about. I mean, they're already running 4,200, but to go to 10,000, more than double, you know, that is just crazy. And I think they can do it though. I mean, they've kind of got it down, and I've been borrowing, I've borrowed my inventory tag from them a little bit already. And so I'm starting to see some ways that, you know, you can increase your, you know, Karin and I've been working on breaking out our listing process into different parts, and, you know, doing one part of it and then putting the item aside, and doing a part of it instead of doing this one after another, and sort of batching some tasks together. And I think there's going to be some efficiency there. There's going to be some sense of accomplishment maybe that we weren't getting before, because maybe we weren't getting through as many items in a day. So now, you know, you get part of them done part of the way, but you get a bunch done, but part of the way. And it kind of gives you a good feeling about, hey, I got something done. The next day you knock them all out. So yeah, they're going to be on. They're going to be on in a couple weeks. Yeah, they're actually, Krillin, move out of the consignment business, just so you know. Is my understanding, they used to do it a lot more, and they do still have some consignment items, but the majority of their items, if I'm not mistaken, the vast majority, right, Karin, were just their items that they're selling on eBay. They used to do retail consignment, but they're still doing some eBay consignment. But I think even there, the majority of their business is just plain old, they buy it and then they sell it. And, you know, there's reasons for that, but yeah, 3,000 square feet is a lot of room. It is. They've got a great setup, and they're in a small town. So their lease and so on. I mean, I didn't ask them the details, but I'm sure it's probably pretty cheap for that small town, I would just think. But and they didn't, and they got to that point. I mean, Tiffany's been on eBay for many, many years, well over a decade. So it's not like she's a brand new reseller just jumping in, getting herself in tremendous debt and obligation. I mean, she's had a lot of experience and practice doing this. But I can't wait to have them on. And then we also have coming on, we have Luke. Luke is coming on January 9th. So we got a bunch of shows coming, not this coming week, but the next week, and then one the next week after that. Luke is coming on January 9th. And Luke is a local reseller that I met here in Charlotte. And man, he is a sharp guy. I've talked about him before, but he's coming on and he's got a bigger store. I mean, he's got about 1,400 listings, I think, up. And he's a part-timer. Part-timer, guys, 1,400 listings. He has a job, a full-time job, and he's going to talk about how he's built his business to that point, what the future looks like a little bit, where he sees himself. And man, he's got just a lot of really good ideas about how to build a business. And it was just fun talking to him because we're like-minded about a lot of things, I think. And it was pretty cool talking to him. And he's coming on and just on January 9th. So guys, we're going to have at least 3 guests coming on over the next 2 weeks, which is going to be awesome. Lots of cool shows. So I will try to send out reminders and set those show times early so you guys can set a reminder and catch them if you want. Anyway, so more about that in just a moment. But I also wanted to share that the spreadsheet, as some of you know, is live and available for purchase. And I put out a video yesterday. I'm going to start putting a link to the video in all the info of every video in the info section. For some reason, my annotations are not working on YouTube. I've been in contact with them, and they say they should be, but there's not. But the spreadsheet is for sale. It's on Gumroad. It's $15. I debated quite a bit about the price and so on, guys. But somebody, a friend of mine gave me some good advice and said you shouldn't price it so cheap that people don't think it's worth using or it's worth anything. And that kind of ties in with the reselling mentality. Like when you price something really low on eBay, people are suspicious of it. And they think maybe something's wrong with it and you're just not disclosing it or what have you. But at the same time, I don't want to price a crazy amount because I know everybody's on a budget and I'm not looking to make a tremendous amount of money. But I will say to you guys, it was quite a few hours to put it together, to get it working correctly, to make it look right. I went back through 3 or 4 different iterations of it. And, I think it's a great sheet, guys. I mean, honestly, you could use that spreadsheet to manage your inventory, your expenses coming in and out of the business, and keeping track of how your business is doing each month. I mean, I want to sit here and say, like if you were doing huge volume, sure, you're probably going to need something more robust than that, honestly. But it's good up to a pretty good point. I mean, I don't know. You can't put a number on it, but I mean, I can sit here and say, hey, I can run 1,000 listing eBay store out of it, no sweat. And it's because it's simple, and I found doing the whole process, guys, that the toughest part about making that spreadsheet was making it as simple as I could. I could add a lot of complexity, but gosh, man, making it just simple as simple as I can make it, that's harder than making it complex. And I tried to make it really simple. I tried to make it so that, you wouldn't have to do, you'd have to do minimal data entry, and there's probably ways to make it even simpler. But I just reached a point where I was like, people keep asking me for a spreadsheet, the copy, and they want something. And I'm like, I got to put something out for you guys. And I hope you guys like it. I mean, let me know if you do or you don't. I won't have hurt feelings about it. But you've got to check it out. I mean, the spreadsheet video's up. If you like it, you can purchase it for $15. If you don't, or if you like, or for some reason you didn't like it, just let me know. I mean, we can work that out. It's not the end of the world, but I think you'll get some value out of it, especially if you don't already have one. I mean, it's pretty much taken all that work off your plate, and now you could do that. You could use it from day one. And it starts on January 1st, so it's perfect time. But I did put a lot of time and thought into it, guys, from what you guys had told me, and people were giving me suggestions and all kinds of things. And I hope you like it. So, okay, now about that. Let's see, what else? What else is going on over there, Karin? You're awful quiet over there.
I was watching.
She's sitting over there watching me from like 15 feet away. But so yeah, we talked about that. Oh, one other thing about shows coming up. So I want to get you guys feedback on this too. If you are new to selling on eBay or relatively new to selling on reselling in general, you're new to reselling in general, let me know, because I'm interested in starting a series of shows with people who are new and doing some interviews and so on, and talking to you about the potential, about the specific issues you face and so on, and your experiences. I think people would be interested in hearing those. So I want to do some shows on those with guests. So you can just contact me, profsales44@gmail.com. You can contact me there. It's in my About section on the channel as well. And maybe we can make that work. I can't promise you I'll put you on a show, because I don't know what kind of interest I'll get from it. But if you're watching this and you are interested, contact me. And, maybe we can kind of work something out, and you can come on a show and just, talk about your experiences. I mean, I find it's really kind of therapeutic, even if you're struggling, to come on and talk to people about it. It's kind of like therapy, right? That's what you pay a psychologist or psychiatrist for. It's like just talking to somebody about it helps. And I hope to kind of make it an interesting series where others can come on and ask questions and see others' experiences and maybe see some common ground. Thrift School asked, does a spreadsheet include the graphs? It does not, Thrift School. And I wanted to put the graphs on there. Unfortunately, I could not figure out a way, and it's probably because I'm just too Excel dumb, but I could not figure out a way to keep the graphs incrementing every time a new entry came in, so that they would keep updating themselves automatically. I know there's a way to do it before anybody starts blasting me in the chat or a comment. I get it, but I could not figure out how to do it. And it just became, so I do plan on updating the spreadsheet and adding some versions or adding revisions down the road. And that's doable with the platform that it's on. And if I can figure out the graph issue, I will do that. But as of right now, it does not have the graphs. So sorry if you were looking for the cool graphs. It probably does need the cool graphs.
You can add them, though, after that. You can modify the file, right?
Yes, the file can be modified and the graphs can be added. And I just need to figure out how to do it. And quite honestly, guys, I just got to the point. It's like, I got to get this done, because I've been telling people, and it needs to start for January 1st. So I need to get it out. Krillin wants me to put him on. Krillin, are you new to reselling? Come on. I don't know if you are or not. The Tonight Show. Yeah, that's funny. No, but guys, I mean, there's a lot of people out there watching this show and watch my shows, and I get emails every week and messages from people just saying, oh, I need help with this, or what do you think about that? And there's a lot of basic questions and basic situations that come up over and over in the reselling game. And I think it would be kind of cool to hear people who've kind of gone through that. I mean, maybe not people who are making $20,000 a month yet, or, they've got a 3,000 listing store. I mean, people who are, maybe you're just into that beginning stage. You've got a little experience, but, you've not really maybe gotten to where you want to be yet. And I think that's would be kind of cool. So does it auto import your existing inventory? No, but you could do that. Spiky asked, the spreadsheet could be used to do that. Basically what you would need to do is go into eBay, for instance, and pull down through the exchange center, the file exchange, pull down a CSV file, and you could pull those columns into the inventory sheet. Wouldn't be that hard to do. You'd have to delete some of eBay's columns, because when you pull down that report, like all your active listings, for instance, it's got a ton of info in there. And you'd probably have to get rid of some of those because it doesn't have all those extra columns. Krillin thinks there's some sort of prejudice against people who live north of the Mason-Dixon. I don't even know what that means, Krillin. What are you talking about? Okay, so Thrift says that he's new to clothing and just started with eBay with clothing recently. Oh, cool. And less than 200 pieces listings. Have been doing Amazon for whatever. Yes, I mean, yeah, that would be a cool show, Thrift. I mean, so you would have some insight into going from Amazon to eBay, which is usually, a lot of people go eBay to Amazon, but not as many, it seems, to go Amazon to eBay. So that would be kind of be cool to hear about, like, what the differences were, because there are definitely different platforms. So yeah, maybe we'll talk, Thrift. That would be cool. What else, Karen? What else you got over there? She's just laughing at me and making faces at me. So 41 people watching, guys. Thanks for that. If you wouldn't mind smashing the like button, since I don't have anybody here to say that for me.
Smash it!
I don't know if you guys could hear her say it or not, but it lets me know I'm doing a good job. So yeah. What else is going on? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Well, we were talking about the New Year's resolutions earlier. And, going back to Gary Vee's point, I've been thinking about the new year, obviously, because it is kind of a starting over point. But really, every point's a starting over point, right? Like right now, you're starting over. You're starting new. And I've already shared with you guys some of what that looks like. But if you are the type to make resolutions, I guess, for lack of a better word, then I guess I would say to everybody, like, I know you have goals for the new year. Everybody comes up with these goals and whatever they are. But how concrete have you made them? I mean, have you written them down? Have you posted them in a journal somewhere? Have you shared them with someone significant in your life, like a spouse or a sibling or a parent or even an accountability partner? And are they all encompassing of your entire life? Because a lot of the books I've been reading lately have been talking a lot about this whole, this sort of holistic approach. Like you can't have your business life all together and your business and your selling and so on, but your personal life is a shambles. I mean, that doesn't work. Your relationships are terrible, for instance. I mean, do you have plans for all those things? Do you have plans for your relationships? Do you have plans for your financial future? Do you have plans for your social activities outside of reselling? Because Rakin was talking about that on the podcast, and he said, and I haven't listened to the whole podcast. I listened to about half of it, maybe a third of it. And he talked about how you need to find some kind of work-life balance. And, because the tendency is, and I see it here on the channel every day, somebody will come on and say, oh, well, you just work harder and you do this, you do that. Great. But if your life is nothing but this, if your life is nothing but listings and selling and packing and shipping and answering customer and dealing with your accountant and all, I mean, I think you're probably going to wake up one day and go, well, I'm working my butt off, and maybe you're even successful, but I've put all my time and energy into this, so I don't have any time and energy to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Stephen Peterson said it great. He said, I don't want to be, here's the line of the night, and man, this hit home to me, guys. Stephen Peterson said, I realized I do not want to be the CEO of a small business. And I think what he meant by that was that you were all this, not importance, all this responsibility fell back on you for what was really a pretty small business. So that you were really feeling like you were running every facet of it. Well, guess what? When you run every single facet of your business, it's running you. Because unless you can automate some things out, You can delegate some things out. You can eliminate some things. Going back to what we talked to a week or so ago, you just bought yourself a job. You don't have a business. You have a job. And, these other things in life are important. They're important for your physical well-being, your mental well-being, your emotional, your spiritual. And so, I guess if you're thinking about 2017, if that's your thing, resolutions, what are you doing around all those issues? What's it going to look like? Where are you deficient? Where are you strong? Where do you feel pretty at ease with yourself? And maybe you just need to keep working in that area. Where are other areas that maybe are a real opportunity for you and you need to improve? And I mean, it just hit home with me when he said, I don't want to be the CEO of a small business. I don't either. I don't want to be the CEO of a $100,000 a year eBay business. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But if you're running every facet of a business to the point that it's encompassing more and more of your day and your week, what are you saying no to? Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to an infinite number of other things you could be doing. So if your business is taking up all of your time, or such a big chunk that you've got no capacity left for anything else, you're saying no to everything else but your business. And I'm telling you, I mean, I think that's a mistake. I mean, they even joked about it on the podcast, like most of us aren't the Gary V's of the world and can work 18 hours a day. Most people aren't wired like that. I mean, there are some, but most of us are not wired like, oh, I can just go out there and work 75, 80 hours, 90 hours a week and just work and sleep. I mean, not one person in 100 is wired like that. But we think that sometimes that's the way to get successful. And I guess I'm looking at it like, that just doesn't appeal to me. I mean, I don't want to spend every waking hour because I already obsess about this business enough. Like I obsess about eBay, about Amazon, about YouTube, about what you guys are asking me and comments and questions I get, about accounting, about shipping and packing, about customer questions. I mean, I already obsess about this stuff. And there's the time I spend actually physically doing something, and there's the mental time. And man, it's a big time budget that I'm using for all that stuff. And I've just got to find ways to be smarter with some of this stuff, because going into this year, I'm not going to give my business all this power over me. It should be the other way around. It should be that I have power over it, not that it has power over me. And sometimes this year, I felt like even when I'm not doing it, I'm still doing it. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess that you guys all have to find your own way with that. But it's been heavy on my heart the last couple of weeks, especially trying to figure out how to make time for all these other things in my life and what that looks like. Because I think that if I don't do it right in business, that I won't be able to do all these other things. And I'm not realizing if I don't do those other things, I can't focus on the business 100% when I'm on it, because you've got to have some downtime. You've got to have time. I mean, you got to have time when you decompress, when you sleep, when you rest, when you take a break, when you move towards something that, you really enjoy. So when you come back to business, you can just go at it like gangbusters. And that's what I've really been thinking about a lot lately in 2017. And that's going to be a big focus of mine. I'm really going to try to work a lot more efficiently, and also take care of myself, take care of my body, take care of my mind, my soul, all these things. So, and that lady over on the couch. So she takes up a lot of time. She's laughing at me. Let's see. There's a couple questions in here. Jen Stewart says, when are you going to invite the CPA guy? How much is he asking? Jen, I'm going to take people's advice and say, I'm going to wait till after this first of the year and see how my relationship goes with him. So far, it's been awesome. And he has been like questions and so on and things that have come up. I mean, we've been in communication probably 2 to 3 times a week. and we're moving forward with what it's going to be set up going forward in January, starting January 1st, really is when really the accounting part starts for him. So I want to see what it looks like. But if everything goes well, I'd love to have him come on, say like February-ish, maybe, would kind of be just throwing it out there. As far as what he's charging, that kind of depends on what services you're getting, Jen. And I don't want to answer for him. It really just depends on what you need. And I would never want to answer for him and say, oh, he'll charge this or charge that. Every situation is a little different. But I found him, for what he's charging me, if for what I'm getting, I shopped it pretty heavily, and it's actually at the low end of the scale for what gets charged. So I'm pretty happy about it. Am I happy about having to pay more money? No, but I was going to have to pay it anyway. It's just a matter of whether I was going to do it now or later. And so I'm pretty happy with it. Are you still taking a break from social media? Curious to see how that could possibly help a business grow. Yes, Thrift. And, you know, it's interesting you asked me that, because I'm going to see how it helps me too. But I think how it's going to help me grow is it's going to keep me from wasting so much of my downtime. I'd rather either spend that time on business or on something I'm really love and am passionate about, or with someone I love and am passionate about, rather than just mindlessly looking at Facebook or playing a game on the iPad. I mean, to me, it's like, not there's anything really wrong with that, but man, I was spending too much time on it in 2016. So that is definitely there. What's up, Wicked Picker? Julie says balance. Leisure's in the house. Picker asks, how many people have purchased a spreadsheet? Some. I'm not retiring yet. Let's put it that way. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But some people have purchased it, so I'm glad. I hope they really like it. Tish asked, how much is a spreadsheet? $15, Lizzie. $15. And yes, those are US dollars, as someone commented and asked. They asked if it was American dollars. I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know what that was all about. Geese, apparently. What are you talking about, Karin?
Somebody said loosey-goosey.
Oh, loosey-goosey. Gotcha. I like squirrels, exactly. Crazy Picker took a class for business. He learned that he was working in his business. Man, that is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, Turtle, and I think you have to do it at first. I do. Because if you ever want to teach anybody else to do it, or you ever want to have somebody else doing it, you need to understand it inside and out, you know, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be better at it than you. They might be. There are things people are going to be better at than you that you came up with for all kinds of reasons. That's one of the things we forget. We always think, well, they're not going to be as good as me. They might be better at it than you. So my plan is to cut back on sourcing, work on death piles, do more crafts. Nice. Nice, Vintage. I like that. So, you know, and come up with a plan. So instead of coming up, Vintage, with cutting back on sourcing, decide what it's going to look like. All right, this is the time I'm going to source and how much I'm going to spend. And here's what I'm going to spend on crafting. You know, if that's a hobby for you, it sounds like it might be. What is that going to look like? And then do it. And then the death piles, you know, make a commitment to it and say, I'm going to knock out this many items or this much of it this month or this week. Prof, do you guys go to concerts? What about that, Karin?
Yeah,
Why does your message keep getting retracted? Oh. Not really, Krillin.
you should.
Yeah, we really don't, but let's see. Anyone need a project plan? I'm putting together one for myself. How does sourcing change by season, folks? That's a good question, Lizzie. Kind of depends on what you're sourcing, what you're buying.
How much money you have.
I mean, you got to think about this, Lizzie. If you're sourcing, let's say, clothing, like a lot of people who watch this channel are, and a lot of people who sell on eBay, I think, are clothing resellers, or at least at one time or another have been. You know, clothing is seasonal. So you're going to see say you're sourcing thrift stores. they're not going to have as many shorts out in the winter usually as they are, longer sleeves and pants and things like that. And in the summer, it kind of flips a little bit, but it kind of depends on when they get stuff in too. They're at the mercy of donations a lot of times. So they have to try to balance it out with like what people are looking for versus what they're getting in donations. But it definitely does change. All things considered, after a season is over, people usually donate that type of clothing in general, and then eventually it's going to make its way to the thrift store. Sometimes not for another season. Rather than part 2. Okay, I don't know what that was, Turtle. Triage. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Utah talks about a book, The E-Myth Revisited. Yeah, I actually been reading reviews of that, Utah, and I might read that book. That is one of my one of the goals for this coming year, guys, is to read a book a week. And I know that sounds aggressive. And some of you, if you're like me, and I'm a reader, but man, I've really gotten out of reading over the last couple years. And now that I've kind of been getting back into it in the last few weeks, I've really, I remember now how much I enjoy it. And you got to put, you got to put knowledge in your brain, guys. I mean, one habit of all really successful people is they read. They read every week. Like, people like Warren Buffett sometimes read 2 or 3 hours a day. And not, I mean, you could read fiction and sort of nonsensical stuff you want, but more so things that are going to be in subjects that interest you and are, will help you in whatever your goals are and you're trying to achieve. But that E-Myth book, I've been really thinking about getting that, and that might be the next one on the list, Utah. So thanks for reminding me that. It looks like really good reviews around it. I know you said you live in the city, not in Mayberry. No, we do not live in Mayberry yet. Mayberry was in North Carolina, sort of. It's actually a fictional town, but it's based on Mount Airy, North Carolina, which is not where we live. Got to keep listening to pay for my hobbies. Exactly. What local news do you watch? I don't. Karin will tell you. Do I watch the news? I'll watch the news with her in the morning a little when we eat breakfast, just because she likes to have it on, and it's usually one of the networks. I don't watch local news. Too depressing. And there's nothing I couldn't get from the news that I'd want that I can't get from like a website, like a score of a game or the weather. And the local stories are depressing. Depressing. And I don't watch them, guys. It adds nothing to my life. I'm sorry. I mean, I would argue that point with anybody till my dying breath. If you watched the first 10 minutes of the local news broadcast in pretty much anywhere in America, you're probably going to need Prozac, because you're going to be depressed and think that the whole world is nothing but robberies and car crashes and murders and just, don't even get me started. So are they hit with huge donations after the holidays? Sometimes, Lizzie. We need a Prof book on reselling on eBay. Tell me forever to get the spreadsheet done. You want me to write a book? Get out of here. Prof, do you have death piles? I told myself not to source until next year, but we actually Jen Stewart, we just took, how much money was it, Karin? That pile we took to the shelter? We took almost $1,000 of merchandise to the shelter, and we took about probably 100 and some back to some thrift stores. Yeah, that we were not going to list or could not list because of defects. So we have gotten rid of the death piles. We don't have them. So, and we'll, we'll get some money back on that we'll be able to deduct some on our taxes and so on, but done with them. Yahoo has enough, plus your phone has weather. Exactly, Adam. I'm telling you guys, turn off the local news for a month. And really don't watch the national news either. Don't watch like CNN or Fox or MSNBC or that crap either. And you will be happier. I'm telling you, you will be. Don't get out of that circle for 30 days and come back to me and tell me you're not happier. And you got to stay away from it. You can't go read it on a website. That doesn't count. But anyway, yeah, Krillin said, yeah, I'm still talking about the town.
Do you remember we watched Nightcrawler? He suggested that we watch the movie Nightcrawler.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's the one where the photographer.
Krillin suggested that?
Yeah.
Oh, Krillin, I guess you suggested we watch the movie Nightcrawler on Netflix? Was that on Netflix? Yeah, it was good. So thanks for that suggestion if that was you. If it wasn't, then sorry. I don't know what to say on that. I work at 2 TV stations. I see loads of local news. I know, man. I don't know how you do it. God, it would drive me crazy. Oh, there's a Nightcrawler. Yeah, okay. I see it now. Is there a video on the spreadsheet? Yes, Lizzie. When you go to the website for the spreadsheet, there's a video right down below it that you can also just download. It's part of it. It's about 20 minutes long, but it breaks each section out. So you can even go back quickly and find another section if you want. And it explains, it's me with a screen share. You're seeing like the screen, and I'm showing you exactly how to use every part of it. So that's there too. I don't even have cable. We're thinking about getting rid of it. Oh, Lord, now we're getting into political. Lizzie says that's why Trump was elected. Watch the news, people. You know what's funny, Lizzie? I mean, I'm a political science guy. That's what my degrees are in. But I can tell you that the majority of people who watch and get their information from news stations, and really from any sources, but specifically on TV, they watch the channels and the sources that confirm their biases already. They're not very interested in watching news from somewhere else that has a different view, because people don't like that. They like to be kind of spoon-fed what they already believe. So, and the news stations know that, and they're based on ratings, guys, not the truth, because they're a business, just like anybody else. And so if they know a big chunk of their viewing population likes a particular slant or view on issues, that's what they're going to show. That's just smart business. Newspapers do the same thing. News magazines, all kinds of websites. I mean, this whole idea of news being objective is kind of a myth, because you're never really completely objective. And it's just because they're a business. They're based on ratings and advertising dollars. And if they know that one group, a big constituency, a certain group is watching them and they want to see news of a certain slant type, that's what they're going to put on. That's what their business model is. You know, but anyway, enough about that. Now, media and politics and coverage. Oh, I could talk for days.
Lizzie asked about uploading those through CSV or eBay.
Yeah, Adam says, yeah, get $1 jeans to bins when you donate, say they're worth 10. Yeah, you got to be careful with that, Adam. My accountant said you need to base, if you're going to donate them back, it needs to be the fair market value. And obviously that can be a little bit, but if you're going to say, hey, I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff for $1 and then donate it back for 10 and say that that was the fair market value, I don't think that's a good idea. Ask your accountant, your tax professional, but that's probably not a good idea and definitely could get you some trouble. So I don't think I'd do that. Does it let you import from eBay or CSV? Not a direct import from eBay, Lizzie. That's more complex than my meager programming skills allows for. But as I told someone earlier, you can use the File Exchange Center and download your listings as a CSV file. And with a little bit of modification, you could copy them over and put them in the inventory sheet. Sure. So you could do that. And I've done that before with listings, so I know it's possible. And, you know, you can manipulate it however you want. The only thing I ask people is just don't share with anyone else, please, because, you know, it's an and you need Excel, by the way, guys, just to be very clear. It is an I know a copy of Excel does not come with it. Prof, what's the best way to email you? Do you have an email for your followers? You can email me, wickedpicker, at profsales44@gmail.com. That's profsales44@gmail.com. And that is also on the About section here on the Prof Sales channel. If you log in the first page, there's an About. It's right there. Please do not spam my email. Should I have to say that? I don't think I should have to say that. Yeah. Oh, it's almost a Karen sighting. Oh, she just couldn't stay away.
You're just gonna harass
There, you can
me
turn that
until I
off
come
if it's
say
too
hello.
high.
It's fine. Hi, everybody.
There's Karen. She knew I was going to harass her. Somebody else was asking something here. Thanks. Is it okay to use it with a cracked version of Excel? I have no idea, Blazing Beats. I mean, I don't care. But will it work correctly? Or would Microsoft care? That's on you. I just don't know what to tell you on that one, man. Sorry. I don't know anything about a cracked version. And I mean, it should work on any Excel, but if you've got something that, you know, was maybe not bought or purchased legitimately through an authorized distributor or Microsoft, I don't know. So I can't say. Sorry. Open Office should work. There you go. Yeah, I don't think, you know, Google Sheets might work, guys, but the problem with Google Sheets is the formulas won't work necessarily in Google Sheets. It's been my understanding. So I don't think, you know, that would be a great solution. You probably have to have Excel. I mean, I wish I could sit here and say it works for on every platform. I mean, there's just no way to do that very easily, you know, so it is what it is.
Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Adam, you're the jeans guy. I'm the apple bottom jeans girl, something like that.
All right.
The spreadsheet won't work though if you open it in the Mac thing, the Sheets thing, because the formulas go away, right?
Oh, and the Google Sheets and what?
No, this thing right there on the Mac.
Oh yeah, they're not going to work on the you mean on the Numbers app on the Mac? No, because that's not Excel.
Right. And
there might be a way to convert them. I mean, if you guys know how to convert an Excel file to another application, to another program, knock yourself out. You're more than welcome to do it. I just don't know how to do it. And, you know, I'm not a professional programmer here, guys. I just play one on TV.
It's Friday. That's all.
Yeah, Excel is a pretty awesome program. I mean, it's been around forever, and man, it is pretty Mac Daddy. The stuff it will do that I haven't even no idea how it will do or how to do it is unbelievable. I mean, it has so much functionality to it. I mean, it's really a sophisticated program, and you know, it is what it is.
Krillin is asking a question, and the answer is yes.
Yes. Are you going to start going to estate sales? Yes, and I'm glad you asked that, Krillin. That is part of the sourcing plan for this year. And we haven't talked too much about the sourcing plan, but we've been kind of talking about it.
Monday's idea for a show. There you go.
Yeah. But estate sales needs to be a bigger part of our strategy because, man, we've hit some home runs at estate sales. And you know what I'm thinking, guys? I'm thinking of trying to do some of these estate sales because we live in an area that there's some richer neighborhoods around us. Our neighborhood is kind of but there's some richer neighborhoods around us. And what I'm thinking we can do is some of these estate sales, clothing is like the forgotten stepchild at the estate sales. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just nobody cares about it. They're not there trying to make any money off of clothing. I think I could go in at some of these places that have some nice clothes that for the most part are all sellable. Very rarely do you run into a piece of clothing in an estate sale, at least where we are, that's not sellable, and just offer them a lowball offer and take it all off their hands. All of it. Maybe even shoes and accessories too. I bet I could go to some of these estate sales, and we could probably walk out of there with $1,000 worth of merchandise for probably $50. Mm-hmm. I'm betting in a lot of cases. And so we're going to try some of that and see how that works. We'll share it with you guys if we do that. I think it's a good idea though.
Well, and around here at the smaller sales, we notice the same resellers, right? The little clickers.
Oh yeah, we do have some around here.
Regulars going through the books and
that one guy, I remember he was going through was he going through DVDs?
DVDs, yeah.
This home had probably what, 300?
Mm-hmm. Easy.
DVDs in it probably.
Yeah.
And he was scanning every single one of them on Scoutify, or it might have been Profit Bandit. I'm not sure he had one of those. Yeah. How many do you usually list in a day? Is it guaranteed when you list more to get more sales too? Like, is there a magic number listed?
There's magic. That's what it is.
You know, the 100 listings per day that we did pop pretty good sales off of that, honestly. And almost half of them have sold, and it's been about 40 days from that, a little more, about 45 days actually. And that's pretty good. That's a good sell-through rate. But yes, if you list more, you're going to sell more. And if you list, all the evidence seems to suggest you're going to sell. It's going to push you up in the rankings, blah, blah, blah. You know, eBay's got all this crap, how they rank you and so on. Well, I mean, nobody knows exactly. I mean,
just really call it crap.
Well, you know, it's a good thing. I'm just, whatever.
Yeah, because crap. There's nothing says good like crap.
Where do you find listings for estate sales? Statesales.net, one place. There's tons of them around.
You can
get
Google
on,
it.
you can get on the mailing list for estate sale companies in your area, and they will email you like weekly their upcoming sales. I mean, there's tons of resources to find them, guys. They're not that hard. Or you might just drive around some, you know, neighborhoods and see them as well as signs. But all those areas. Are going to do a detailed video on exactly how the formulas work and whatnot on the spreadsheet. Not so much the formulas, Wicked Picker, but just how the video that comes with the spreadsheet is 20 minutes long. It explains how to enter everything on the spreadsheet. And I tell you on it, please do not fool around with formula columns. Because if you screw up the formula, something will stop working. Something will be wrong. And, you know, you can always undo. Undo is your friend when you're on Excel. But I don't think most people want to know how the formulas work. And they're not complicated. They're nothing you couldn't Google and figure out on your own. It's just taken me months and months to put it all together, how it's evolved over the time. But I don't think most people care about how the formulas work. They just care that they work. You know, I don't care how a lot of things work. I just care that they work. You know, it's because it's important. But anyway, Prof, I can come on as your guest. Estate sales are about timing. There you go, Krillin. You can come on and talk. Krillin, I'm gonna take you up on that. We'll talk. Somebody Leisure Picker bought a Richard Nixon signed autograph and spent $80 on it. Wow, it's framed with a dedication to a major general. You were speaking in politics, so there you go. Nice. You're gonna flip it. Or you're gonna keep it, Leisure. Oh, I see what you did there.
I just did that. I can be political.
You gotta make the jowls.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
I did that. Look,
you already got me to
that's
go.
a pretty
on
good
with,
Nixon.
Like, Friday night.
Other than I don't look
so.
anything like him. Krillin has some relationships with estate sales. Krillin, you should come on. You can come on the show and talk about estate sales. We'll do a whole show on estate sales.
You've done it now, Krillin. Be careful what you ask for.
You've committed.
And now the people will want to hear it.
Now the people have spoken, which means in the chat.
So send an email and we'll line it up.
Lots of stores going out of business. Yeah, Sears and Kmart are going. I agree with that. Sports Authority is done. We don't have any sports authorities near us, unfortunately. The closest one was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
it was
not
not
anymore.
close, and they're already gone. I'm still listing on estate sale home run from August, $300 for 3 pickup loads. Nice. Jinx. So Leisure's going to get $600-800 for his autograph. Very good, Leisure. Man, that's awesome, man. Great. Prof, the reason why YouTubers don't like estate sales is because they go too early. Estate sales are not garage sales. These companies are not stupid and they're very familiar with eBay. You have to go late for close. Krillin, save that for the show. Quit telling everybody all the secrets. Just kidding. But no, that's good to know. When I see the close at these estate sales, though, they're not much money. They're cheaper than the thrift stores. I mean, they'll be like, you know, $3 for this Ralph Lauren sweater. And you're like, oh, all right.
What's your email address? I'll type it. Prof Sales.
Yeah, yeah, you can type it in there. Email in the chat. Karen's typing at night right now.
Keep talking.
44.
Pay no
go.
attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's on. And the email is also, guys, on the About section. of my channel
Is
when
that
you
right?
log in. Yep, that's it. And it's also just in the chat. We just posted it. I just want to see all this. I sell socks since 2000. Never seen sales so slow. Considering becoming a thrifter. Yeah, we wondered about socks, Kelly. But do you sell? What kind of socks do you sell? New socks, used socks, like pre-owned? Ugh. You have to wash them all, or no? I don't even know. I don't know much about it.
Oh, I should go get my free socks. I'm gonna get my socks.
Buy the clothes on the last day. They offer them a price for everything. Huh? Makes sense. Yeah, there's really you can kind of sell so much. What are you getting?
My free socks. We're talking about socks.
Oh, okay. Yes, Karen has some free socks. She got. I don't know.
My son got them. Those are my free socks. So he ordered these fancy sandals online, and they sent him some free gifts. And these were some. And I think we looked them up, and these free socks are like $13, $14, $15.
You gonna flip them?
I'm not gonna flip them, but when he gave them to me, I made a joke that I was gonna. And
hey,
then,
is that something over there?
Oh, give me my socks. And then he said, well, if you're gonna sell them, give them back. And I'm like, no. But this seems to be the trend, these cute little, what does he call them? Cabin socks, wool socks.
Yeah.
I mean, so who was the sock? Kelly was the sock person?
Yeah, somebody was selling socks, but they were not having a lot of luck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pre-owned socks, people always get off on that subject. It's not supposed to be worn or unwashed. However, people
Shunka Cody hit it right on the noggin.
Sell socks to foot fetishers. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah,
so,
you can find it.
Anyway, but we are not advocating that. We're not advocating you violate eBay's rules at all. And I don't really sell socks. I don't think I've ever sold socks on eBay. So I love buying closets, make an offer for what's in the closet. Yep, that's cool. Yeah, and you guys are exactly right. And this is part of evolving, and you guys are hitting the nail on the head, and I appreciate it. I really do, because you guys are talking about, several people in the chat are talking about going and sourcing estate sales and how to get clothing there and other items too. But man, that is a resource this year that when we were sourcing estate sales, it was more for Amazon, and I was not as focused on eBay, and I missed some opportunities there for sure. So I'm definitely going to start putting those more on the list. We're going to start hitting those, especially like midweek ones that you find occasionally. I just feel like those aren't probably going to have as much traffic as the weekend, because you're not going to have, you might have more resellers there, but you're not going to have the casual traffic of the weekend, people just picking up random stuff. But that is definitely a sourcing opportunity that we need to do better on this coming year as estate sales.
Agreed.
Because we could, we just sold it was a stereo. Yeah, it was like a brand new stereo in the box the other day that we got at a estate sale for what, $25?
Who found it?
She found it, that we flipped for $300 on Amazon, and it was an estate sale, and they had $25 on it and thought that was like a lot of money. It was brand new. The box was open, but it was all still sealed in the original packing, and the plastic was still sealed. This thing had never been opened. And we flipped it for $300 on Amazon, and probably netted $200 on that item.
Well, and so, Kelly said that they need to learn more about brands, and you don't recognize a great item when you see it. When we were at that particular estate sale, Kelly, I was in the front room where they take the money, and they usually have the jewelry, the glass case with all the fancy jewelry in it.
Right.
And I kid you not, I grabbed 5 or 6 different audio equipment thingies that were boxed, and I hoarded them in the corner. And I'm freaking out because I'm not really aggressive when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I recognized a couple of the brands, and more than anything, I recognized that these things were mint, never opened, brand new pieces of equipment. So I ended up texting him in some other part of the house, and he came, and we literally just had to look some of them up right there in the moment. But when in doubt, behave like people do at the bins, and just pull it in close. Yeah.
And the other thing you can do too, Kelly, is because you bring up a common problem. People they go to estate sales or yard sales and they don't know what to buy. And I run into that too. It's not like I'm some super expert on it. We all have a learning curve. I have my niche, but in other areas, I'm like, man, I have no idea if this is good or not. What you can do though is spend some time on eBay and research listings, research completeds, research solds, and also looking at prices. And that can, and maybe pick out a few brands in a certain category. Maybe it's new socks. Maybe it's men's shirts. Maybe it's jeans. Maybe it's women's dresses. And pick out a few brands. And what I like to do is I like to pick out 2 or 3 brands that are kind of high end. If I see a bunch of them, now if I see a one-off in a sold listing on eBay over the past 2 months, that probably doesn't indicate much of a market for it. There's probably not going to be a lot out there. But if I see several and it's a higher end brand, I'll list in the high end section and maybe a mid section and maybe even a low. And then when you go out, you've now got 8 or 9 brands you can look for. That's easier to do, I find, than trying to go out and look at every single item as you go through. You will never be able to do that very quickly. And yes, if you only go out looking for 7 or 8 brands at first, you're going to miss some great ones. But as you start getting an eye for what that particular niche has in terms of quality and so on, you will start picking up some of those mystery brands and researching them on the spot. The key is figuring out how to skip over some brands that you know are no longer, are not going to sell for very much, or not worth your time and energy to put into. I think if you do that, and you'll start building some knowledge in that area, and it's not going to happen the first time you go out, but if you do it, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 times. I mean, Carmen's the same way with jeans. When she walked in, I'm like, here, buy these brands, look for these. But even there, it was like certain sizes, certain fits, certain condition. I mean, it still was it took you multiple times to kind of get a handle on them. And now she very rarely has to even look up a brand. She usually can pick even a mystery brand and be right on it.
Well, and Kelly said maybe come up with a hot list and bring like a cheat sheet. And to this day, we still kind of have a cheat sheet.
Yep.
And one of the metrics that he created can actually tell us which brands are selling better for us, which sizes, and we can really channel it down.
Yep.
I have to go back though. I think it's Ting Law has created my new hashtag for the year. Grab all the thingies.
Grab all the thingies.
That's what I do, and that's how I shop. I grab all the thingies. And Turtle suggests that it's on like roller derby. I could do that. That'll be me tomorrow. I will be roller derby Karen tomorrow, and I'll tell you all.
You're gonna wear like some pigtails and be elbow pads.
You know me, I'm all about the hair, game face.
Oh Lord!
Like, what is that? Black under the eyes, eye black, grease.
Yep. Let's see. There's a few other. Man, Leisure's find all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Ting Law. Yeah, I mean, and Ting Law makes a good point. Make sure the brand is still relevant, but that's where you look at the listings and completeds and solds on eBay. And if you see like 1 sold or 2 in the past month, and there's 150 listings, chances are it's not a hot brand anymore, and it's going to be hard to sell. It's going to set a long time. On the other hand, there's 150 listed, and you see 30 have sold, 20%. I mean, if you get the right 1 in 5 in that brand, you're going to sell it, and you're going to sell it in a decent amount of time probably. So yeah, it's a combination of all those things, but it's not simple just saying, hey, just look for this brand. There's just too many out there in clothing to really just go out looking for one. But on the other hand, you can't go out looking for all of them the same time either. Mm-hmm. It's just too many, I mean, we still run into denim brands we've never seen before. And I've seen hundreds of denim brands, at this point. So you're just always going to be learning. Just accept that's the cool part about this game and embrace it. Don't run from it. Don't be like, oh, there's too much to learn. Be like, yes, there's a lot to learn, and go after it. So I think you got to do that if you want to be a good reseller.
We got our first Stitch Fix new with a tag the other day too. It's nothing fancy. It's just a little shirt, but that's that cater to you, ship to you idea. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
I got very excited because everybody talks about finding them and we have yet to. And here was this lovely little blue stitch fixer.
Thrift School is just buying jeans and only the Tommy Bahamas have sold. That's interesting. 7 for All Mankind will sell.
Yeah. And the sizes matter a little bit too. The
sure.
smaller sizes might take a little bit longer to sell, but they'll sell. Tommy Bahama, I just took pictures of one today, and the inside tag, Thrift School, you should look, it says, live live life like a long weekend, like it's a long
Mhm.
weekend or something, or
Yeah.
every day should be a long weekend or something. Tommy Bahama makes a really, I wish I could wear them. They're always so soft
Yeah.
and cozy.
I never find ones that'll fit me, but they're not bad. I mean, they look
Mhm.
like they'd be a comfy jean, but I can never find one that'll fit me. Not yet. Did the USPS release their new rates yet? I think they do in January, Adam. So that's coming. And it might even be tiered. I'm not sure if they all come the same day or some are 1 week and some are another, but I'm pretty sure it's in January. What's up, Swamp? Haven't seen you in a while, buddy.
Oh, do you see Swamp?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, hey, Swamp, how are ya?
Leisure Picker bought a bayonet.
Oh, hey, email us a picture, Leisure. I might be able to help you with that, believe it or not. I'm the gun one in the relationship, not you. It is what it is. Just send me a picture. I got a guy.
Let's see. They were tinsel material, so soft. I don't know what that means. Oh, he's talking about the jeans. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Not the gun.
I know it's going. I got on 2 different
Oh,
comments. That's a
the
problem with
gun.
reading it. So
I loved it in Petty.
Kelly says dreading the new rates. Don't, Kelly. I mean, here's the beauty about when shipping rates go up. As a reseller and someone who ships things, you fold that cost into your business plan. I mean, you don't take the hit on that. Ultimately, this sounds horrible and probably hearsay but the buyer pays for the increased shipping, either through you're going to charge more for the item to start with if you're doing free shipping, or if you're doing a flat shipping cost, you're going to add a little more, or if you're doing calculated shipping, it's going to automatically be calculated at a higher rate. The buyer pays for it. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the USPS, FedEx, UPS, a couple other smaller outfits, they're the only people in the game. I mean, you've got to ship your items. So don't sweat the higher shipping. You absolutely just fold that in your business plan and move forward. And your buyers may not like it, but it's not up to you. You didn't create the rates. You're trying to get it to them as cheaply as possible, but you don't take the hit on that. If you do, I think in the short term, it might be like you look cheaper than other sellers, but remember, you're taking a hit on margin when you do that. It's going to cost you more. So, are you really going to put saving 100 buyers next month, an extra 25 cents each? Are you really going to put that at more importance than you having a sustainable and viable business? I mean, I'm not. And I'm going to charge the buyers more for it. I have to. There's no way nothing else I can do.
And you already have, and we're still selling jeans. Sorry. I got to talk to the people. But you already raised the price and people have already bought them. So it's it hasn't stopped us selling jeans.
Yeah.
And, newsflash. And yeah, it is whoever said January 17th, that's the date that I have as well.
Yeah.
But that's when they change.
And Adam says, the problem is I'm selling jeans with free shipping using Buy It Now. Yeah. Add more costs to your jeans. Because remember, guys, the shipping is not something you control. What you do control is how much you charge for it. And you control if you take a hit on it or not. That is in control. But how much the actual shipping cost to ship this microphone to Idaho, it's not up to you. It's a weight issue and a distance issue, and that's being decided by USPS or UPS or however you're shipping it. So you just got to protect your business, guys. I mean, don't eat the cost of shipping. Extra shipping increase. I wouldn't. I don't think that's good business. And nobody does that. Like big businesses don't do that either. Amazon and so on. It's folded into their business model. Just like taxes are folded in their business model and theft and all kinds of things. So you should do the same thing. You just do it on a smaller scale. I sell a lot of video games and those have a very fixed cost. You could do flat rate shipping maybe, thrift. I don't know. I don't know the video game market as well, but maybe. Video games are cheap to ship, right? $350 or so, $375, most of them.
Shipping goes up every year, but
I know.
Spikey's pay doesn't. That's grand.
I know. My pay doesn't go up every year, right? I know, right? If the buyer wants it enough, they'll pay for it. I've avoided jeans because it's costly to ship. Really? Kelly, jeans will fit in a padded flat rate or a flat rate, which is even cheaper. But a padded flat rate is, if your top rated seller is $5.90 to ship to anywhere in the United States.
And I think it changes to $6.50.
It's going to change to $6.50. And that padded flat rate will fit 99% of all jeans. you can ship to Alaska for less than $6. So I don't know. I don't think that's really costly to ship. Now, if you're shipping priority mail and they're 2 to 3 pounds, like a men's pair, yeah, that's more expensive. But guess what? Jeans will fit in a smaller package. They'll fit in that padded flat rate, even some pretty big jeans, and you can get them there for $6. Now that's going to go up to $6.50, but they're not that expensive.
What's legal flat rate, Ting?
Legal flat rate's even cheaper. Legal flat rate, I think, is $5.60 maybe instead of $5.90 if you're top rated. So I guess it'll go up to probably $6.25, $6.30. I'm not sure what the rate will be, somewhere in there. But I just don't like the cardboard ones as well for reasons I've talked about many times before. Let's see.
Yeah, just about everybody agrees.
What percentage would you say ship international? Not a lot. I don't even know if it's 1%. Probably under that, but they are there, and they tend to be higher sales. Like they tend to be some brands that you wouldn't sell in the United States as easily for some reason. A lot of times, I don't know why. Like there's different brands that are more desired overseas. Granted, I don't find as many of them. Like Coogee, for instance, sells really well overseas for me. I don't know why, but it does. It's an Australian brand, but it sells really well in Europe, for me at least. 610, if not top rated seller for, yeah, there you go. I found the bayonet. What is it? Flat rate is perfect for jeans. Yep, agreed. Flat rate's the way to go, guys. Man, that simplifies. So that's why I love jeans, because I don't have to figure out, I don't have to be Sherlock Holmes and figure out the shipping mystery with every sale. I mean, I know, and I just ordered another 100 padded flat rate envelopes today. They come free right to the house. I don't even have to go to the post office to pick them up. I know they're going to fit virtually every jean I have, with a few exceptions. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love jeans, because they're easy to figure out shipping. I don't want to spend my time figuring out shipping. I want to just put the damn thing in an envelope and send it. I don't know why people want to spend so much time figuring out shipping. I'm like, man, I mean, sometimes you have to, but if you don't have to, don't. It's time. That's time is money, right? So anyway, there's my rant of the night, right? My prof rant. That should be another. I should have like a whole bunch of prophisms, right?
We always know when you're getting on the soapbox because little words like damn come out of your mouth. And crap. We've covered those 2 words tonight.
We've covered crap. Let's see if there's any here. I packed 2 pair of men's cargo shorts in a padded flat rate. Nice. That sounds right. Yeah.
We're gonna do a show on all what you can and can't fit in a flat rate envelope.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Next week we'll do it. We'll record. We won't do a show, but we'll do a recorded video.
Prof, do you still teach? Nope. Sadly, no. If there's anything I could be doing other than reselling and being in business for myself, it would be teaching, because, man, I loved it. But it was just, it's a long story. It's a good story. I mean, it was nothing bad. It just wasn't the right, I hit it the wrong time in my life, unfortunately, for lots of reasons.
But you're a full-time reseller.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is all I do. I mean, This is it. This is all I want to do, really.
And making videos levels out your sanity.
Yeah, making videos is part of the teaching part, I guess. I don't know. But honestly, like, I'm sitting reading these comments, and I'm like, I'm learning stuff from other people, like estate sales, when talking about going to the last day. I mean, I learn way more from this channel and you guys than I can ever tell you. So it's not even close.
Yeah, Adam, they started selling the priority mail tape a while ago. You can always go into the post office and use it for free, but otherwise just go to like one of these warehouse stores or order it online, and just, if you're packing it too full, reinforce it with packing tape. As long as it's not excessive, they're not going to ding you on it, because, you know, you're right. You're not supposed to have to tape it over again, because then you're overfilling it, right?
I've never had one come back yet that said it was too thick. And I've sent out some jeans, and if you've seen a padded flat rate, you know it's about this thick. I've sent out some that have been like this. No doubt, no joke. And they barely closed, and yeah, I did put some tape around them. I normally don't even tape them, guys, because that adhesive on them is pretty good. And when people get them, they can kind of go and just rip it right open, and they got their jeans. They don't have to think about it.
Yeah, if it fits, it ships with a little help from some tape every now and
Lizzie says you can get it at the post office. Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes you can because
Every post office in Charlotte is different.
It's different.
We get a different story. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, we don't have those bins. What are you talking about?
Our post office, guys, this is no joke. It was the middle of the week right before Christmas. Wasn't it like 3 days before?
I don't know. What story are you going to tell?
There was a line. Okay, there was the line to go to the counter because it was right before Christmas. That line had probably 20 people in it. There was a line to go to the automatic postage where you set the piece of mail on the little scale and you pay for it right there. That had like 10 people in it. And I went in to get the postage. The big hopper thing was full, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm like, but fortunately the box outside, the big blue box, I was able to put all my padded flat rates in there and just move on. But I'm like, man, am I really gonna have to stand one of these lines? We have a crazy post office. It's just so busy. It's crazy. I've stuffed those padded flat rates using my head, knees, and table corner. Nice, the table corner. I like how you threw that. Needs its own video, I think. Let's see.
Oh, Michelle says she called the 800 number and they sent her 6 rolls for free.
Nice.
They interrogated her, but they sent her 6 rolls for free. Well, that's cool. So let's all try that. Let's call
them. Yeah, let's all call right now. Make friends with your postal clerk. What's up, Pete? Pete in the house, the Craigslist hunter.
I think the shorter answer to your question, Pete, would be what's not the topic for tonight?
It was New Year's resolutions. And more importantly, about why you shouldn't wait till New Year's to make them. Just do them right now.
Just do it.
Pete, I know you're a big believer in that. What's really going to change tomorrow? I mean, if you know you need to do something in your business or your life, but if you know you need something in your business, there's no reason to wait till January 1st or February 3rd or March 10th. Mm-hmm. Do it. Start now. Start right now. It's arbitrary. The first of the year, just go forward with it, And Gary Vee was talking about, and that's how we got off on this topic. But you make a resolution for that day, not a week from now, and you just do it. It's just like Nike, right? Just do it.
Yeah.
Wicked, right now.
Yep. And Wicked thinks we should call them live. You know what? That might make for a funny or a not so funny video. Post office, send me. Blah,
yeah,
blah, blah,
I'm not
blah.
sure if we can put them on the air though. They might get a little pissy about that. Potentially. The topic is coming late to shows.
That's good.
That was funny, Spike.
Bazinga!
Wow, that was great. Some talk about estate sales. Yeah. And Pete has not agreed to be on the show yet, but in his defense, I have not asked him. So Pete, I've had Ronnie, I've had Chad, so it kind of makes sense. I need the Trinity there, the trio, not the Trinity, but a different Trinity. So what else do we got on here? Yeah, estate sales is something we really need to have a show on, honestly. Because we need to learn it.
Yeah.
And I know people in the audience need it. Man, that is an untapped resource.
Well, Krillin volunteered, right?
Yep, Krillin has volunteered. Krillin, we're holding you to that. We're not joking. This is for real. It's like you have to do it now. We'll figure it out.
Well, and Skunk said, have you noticed that everyone and their mothers and neighbors are making eBay bids lately? Yeah, but it's just like, reselling. Not everybody has the you-know-whats to stay with it.
There's tens of millions of books out. You know what I heard? I heard this stat the other day, and I might get it wrong, but something like some little tiny percentage of books that are published every year. And not as many books are published now because a lot of them are getting published electronically. But when they were all print, it was something like just a very tiny percentage of less than 1% ever sold more than 5,000 copies. It was a tiny number. And there's millions of books out there. The point is, there's tons of channels out there. There's tons of information. Some of it's good. Some of it's not so good. Some of my information's good. Some of it hasn't been so good. I mean, you've got to be able to sift through it and find the good from the bad and what fits for you and your business model and your mindset. That's important too. And the way I approach it's not the same way Pete approaches it or Chad or Rakin or any. I mean, everybody's got a different approach to it. So the way I say it might connect with you and the way they say it might connect with you, but the way someone else says it doesn't connect with you at all. And that doesn't make them wrong. It just means we're all different in how we learn, and what we want to get out of it.
And that's one of the reasons why I think we seek out and invite on and present all different points of view. Because even we talked the other day about how, Tiffany and Luke and James and Pete and everybody has a different way to do it. And if you can glean just one nugget from here and one from there and make it work for you, that's our wish for you. Right? We want you to be as comfortable, knowledgeable, educated, and proficient in what you're doing to better yourself, right? And it's not just going to be the Prof way, although it could just be the just Karin way. No, I'm just kidding. But you need to,
always the Karin way.
Or the highway, but you need to find what's going to work best for you. So, you'll see us in the coming months, and we've talked about what's coming down the pipeline. We're gonna kind of bring in some perspectives, maybe even not from reselling, because it's an effective mindset, and we've encountered some people that are doing some pretty extraordinary things in some extraordinary ways, right? Yep.
And we've got some heavy hitters coming in January. Luke, Rakin, Tiffany, and James. Maybe Pete. We'll get Pete on. Man, that'll just be a month. Like, we'll just quit doing shows after next month. Pete comes on too. It's over. It's done. We can't get any better than that. We've hit the pinnacle. We're just at the top.
Well, and even Pete's doing some things differently.
Sure.
Like everybody evolves.
His store, Pete's a great example. I mean, I give Pete tremendous credit for the fact that he put opening a second store out there, which is always difficult, even if in the best of circumstances. And you know what, guys? Over a period of time, he found that store was not meeting the goals and expectations that he set for it. And he closed it down. And he was very open about that. He didn't lie about it. He didn't tell everybody. I mean, was he happy about it? No, of course he wasn't. But he's a smart businessman, and he knows that, like, when it doesn't go the way you think it goes, you've got to make some tough decisions sometimes. And that's part of this. He didn't fail at opening up that second store. He just figured out that was not the right move for his business at that time. That is not failure, guys. That is learning. That is how you learn. You don't learn when you're successful. You don't learn anything when you're just success. You've got to fail and get some adversity and then pick yourself back up and figure out how to move forward from it. And I give him a ton of credit for putting it out there, because he certainly didn't have to, and he did, and I think there's not enough of that with resellers. We don't always do a good job of that. We don't all tell you, oh, well, this month we sucked. I posted the other day, our last update video. I was like, yeah, the last few days have sucked, and it's all me because I didn't list.
Pretty much.
And we listed a few the other day and saw some pop in sales.
Well, and that's another hashtag for January, suck less, right?
Yeah. We have this saying in production and where I volunteer, and we just say at the end, we say, don't suck. And it's very personal. It's like, you don't suck. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. If they're beating you, there's no beating you. Like, you just do your best, you figure it out, and then it'll take care of itself. And Pete just said, the Craigslist hunter is Pete. Somebody was asking his name, and he's got a huge YouTube channel. You guys should check it out. He does tremendous content over there. I'm a subscriber, have been for probably a year and a half now. And he just said, you don't know how many times he's failed over the years. And that's why he succeeds.
Well, and if you take anything from any of our, and most of us are pretty open, full disclosure open. And if you take anything from that, just in your own personal evolution, adapt and overcome. Yep. Never give up. And as our Panthers would say, keep pounding, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, if you're in this and you want to do it, It's not going to be easy. And everybody, all of the heavy hitters, all the hard workers will tell you,
Yep.
you got to bust your butt to make it happen.
It's hard.
And when you get adversity creates opportunity. Adapt and overcome.
What's the saying? Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it.
Yeah, true
so
story.
That's a great quote. I think there's a lot of truth in that. So, yeah, guys, I mean, 2017, there's no reason it can't be an amazing year for you. The only thing stopping that is you.
Is you. Mm-hmm.
So decide what you're going to do with it. Decide right now. Decide tonight. Start writing it down. Flesh it out. Figure it out. Plan your strategy, and then you can decide what that's going to look like and implement it. Start tonight. Don't even wait till tomorrow morning. No. Go to sleep excited about it, because I'm excited about the opportunities coming down the pike. I know Karin is too, because I just feel like this year we've learned so much about a lot of things, and I know we're going to take that and just run with it so fast and so far this year, and you can too. I'm no better than you. She's no better than, well, she's better than me, but but I mean, nobody's here is any better than anybody else. It's just, this is not, so complicated that you can't figure it out, guys. So don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Keep pounding, like you said, and just work your butt off at it and see where you get and adjust as things come your way.
That's the important thing. Have enough flexibility flexibility with yourself so that you can adjust. Grab all the, what did we learn tonight? Grab all the thingies and suck less.
Yeah, don't suck. And, I think it was Mark Cuban who said, might not have been Cuban, but he said, the difference between someone who succeeds and fails in business is just perseverance. It's perseverance. The people who succeed are the ones who just don't give up. They just keep going out. I know it sounds so cliched, but it really is true. Because if you give up, you will fail. 100%. You failed. Giving up is failure. But if you don't give up, guys, it will happen. It might not happen the way you think or when you think, but it will happen. So I'm a big believer in that. I think you got to believe in that.
Well, and newsflash, if you don't list things, guess what?
Yeah.
They won't sell.
So when I say don't suck, that equals list things. That's part of it.
Oh, look behind us. There's some things to list right there.
Oh, yeah. Look at all these nice. It'd be nice if I had some photographs of them.
Okay, this program is going to be temporarily interrupted.
All right, guys. We probably should get out. We should probably get out of here. We've been on for like an hour and a half. I planned on coming on for like 20 minutes. True story.
I wasn't going to come on at all because he's like, hey, it's Friday night. It's what, 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to do a show.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a show. I'm like, she's like, okay.
You go do your show. Go do you.
I knew she'd get on. She's my ratings boost.
I'm the comic relief. What are you talking about? Somebody said something about I did a bunny hop. I guess I did with the jeans when I went boop.
Oh, okay.
I'm a kook.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I think that's going to do it for now. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a Friday night. If you wouldn't mind, leave me a comment down below. And what else should they do, Karin? If they like the content?
Smash the like button.
Smash it. That trips me out. I don't even know what that is. But leave me a comment down below. Consider subscribing if you want to catch every video. Check out the spreadsheet. If you think you'll get some value out of it, you can go to the Gumroad link and purchase it. It's only $15. And I do appreciate it. And 2017, guys, doesn't matter. Tomorrow's December 31st. Start right then.
And we'll probably see everybody next year. Spikey said we should do a New Year's Eve show, but we're going to be New Year's Eve.
We're going to be New Year's Eve, but not like you think.
Yeah, we'll tell you all about it on Monday, but that's when we'll probably see you again, is on Monday. So I hope that everybody, on behalf of the other vultures in the room that aren't in the background tonight, we hope everybody has a happy and safe holiday.
Don't drink and drive.
No, call Uber, Uber. Go figure.
Don't make bad decisions tomorrow night.
No, please don't. Then we can't. Then
Not
we
smart.
can't share
Yeah, we want to see you all back in the chat.
A prosperous
So,
2017. We're hoping to
exactly.
see everybody back here. So
DUI and accident free.
yeah,
So,
please.
all right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this public service announcement.
On that high note.
So,
Woo!
all right. Well, I'm Prof Sales.
And I'm Karin.
And we're saying
Good sales to you.